So hi everybody, it's Rolex here once again with the series, or it's not the series, it's just step by step, upgrading how much juice you want to put in, and how many more you can put in, and is it still worth it? Is it like I would say though this is like a mid investment, like mid tier. It's not like really high investment in terms of currency that you're spending, even though it's a little bit annoying to do because you have to trade a lot. You have to buy scarabs, you have to buy, sexton, and you have to figure things out like mostly yourself, because copying some strategy might work, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna get the same exact like same exact setup, and you're not gonna get the same exact feeling when you're playing. So like me, I'm just going for more nurses and just get a bunch of quantity. It's like stack a bunch of quantity both on my gear and on my what's brushstone. So there's a lot of approach that people going for, in tier 10, which I'm running for 100 maps to test this strategy out. A lot of people running tier 10 just because they want to have the chance to drop H Hunter, Mage Blood, and the Squire. So there's three chase uniques for some of the rarity stacking. That's why a lot of people trying to go for the reliquary scarab, but not me, because I don't really care about getting unique. Unique is like some form of like maybe a little reward here and there, and I just want to get as much nurse as possible. And if you just want to get as much nurse and a consistency of nurse drop, well, I mean, you can just stack a bunch of quantity. That works, right? You don't really need to care much about rarity, but if you want to get some juicy unique, something like Mage Blood, something like a Squire, something Unnatural Instinct, something like a Headhunter, obviously you have to run some Magic Find, some rarity, because even though it doesn't really, it doesn't really what is this, like, what's the word, it doesn't really guarantee that you're going to get those items. It's increasing the odds of getting those items because you would drop more uniques. But I'm not really going for that round. Like, if it's drop, it drop. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't. I don't really care about it. And I go with the different approach, which is going for the quantity stacking. And we'll go into the results. Uh, I got 34 nurses within 100 maps, and if you count that and you compare it with like a 79 map, my last magic find to headhunter in this league, which is about like 79 maps, because I ran 50 maps in part 16 and then 29 maps in part 17. With they combine like 79 maps total, and I dropped 16 nurses. So with no scarabs on those things, right? And then if you give them scarab like this one, I used polished divination card scarab. So 100% more divination card scarab seems to be on the line. Getting 16 there, so it should be about 30 something here, right? It should be more than 32 because, well, this is 100 maps, this is not 79 maps, so it should be more, right? But maybe the last one was pretty lucky. I think in that, like, two parts, two last part was pretty lucky, like super lucky. You should never expect to get those amount of nurses, even with even with like super lucky. But yeah, those results are just pure luck, because running 800 maps, you're gonna get like a good streak, and a bad streak of nurse drops and stuff like that, because you're not using scarab, so you're not forcing things to drop. But when you run with the scarab, you can actually expect to get nurses like within a certain amount of time. People saying that they would probably getting around like 4 maps per one nurse they will drop one nurse every 4 maps. If you run with polish, division scars get up, and I'm gonna tell you how I roll my maps and stuff like that within a minute. But we'll get into the
May
results,
the
right?
darkness
I
spare
got
you.
a bunch of nurses, 34 nurses in total, and 10 exalts in total that I dropped, right? Only dropped, not counting the chart collection. And I ran, 100 towers. And obviously, I sustain all the tower myself. And I'm going to tell you how I sustain it. It's gonna be the not really an obvious way, right? Because people would probably like, well, you're running a scarab, right? You're running Kato scarab. No, no, you don't run those. Those are for like searching your map pool just for the maybe about like 10 maps, 10 maps, and then you stop running those. You don't want to run Kato scarab. They're absolutely worth if you want to run them and want to sell maps, but they're not really that good. They're not really that good. And yeah, I got one mirror shard. So these uniques are absolutely amazing. They drop a lot. So as you can see from tier 3 maps, you're never gonna drop Aegis or Aurora. Like I ran 800 of them, never drop one. I got two here. I think I got two because yeah, I got two here. I got Liab Lunaris. I got the Brass Dome, two of them as well. And I got LA Weakness on hit and Enfeeble on hit globes. LA Weakness is on like 6% quant though. It's kind of bad, so it could probably sell for like 70C or something. Got a Protect Provenance with the maximum roll of minion deal increased damage. So this is maybe good, maybe sellable. I got the more dexterity requirement, life, fucking lightning rest, something like that on corruption on the Gurkhan flights. And then I got two 7 league step, two golden realm, like kind of bad quantity. I could probably divine them and sell them for something, or maybe divine them and then trying to corrupt them, getting some more movement speed. Because what I'm using right now is 10%. It's enchant. I enchant this myself, as I said in what part in the Magic Finder Headhunter thingy. Plus 2 duration gems. They could be work if you're running with like a weird setup, like a Magic Finder, Blade Vortex or something, right? Then you can chuck this in, you get extra damage, and then you can run that. Minion damage for Primordial Eminence, and then another one of these minion damage for Primordial Harmony. I expect to get like Corrupted Blood. I got one Geofoy, a good flat fist to spell, and a multi, global critical strike multiplier on a corruption. So I think there's not many people selling like something like this, right? So it could probably worth something, maybe around 2-3x if I would have guessed. I don't know. Bisco with not a 50% quant, that's not really good, but it's Bisco. So, and I got like this cool thing, right? This is really, really good. Like, I don't know, probably the best drop from the boss on the Scourge mods itself. It get crit chance and crit multi. But then it's like, what is this, right? Retaliation chime, damage again, blind, like I don't know, blind versus reflect. What is this? Like I don't even know, dude. Like it's okay. I mean, I don't even know people using this for anything. To be fair. And it got like random band wealth from the strong box, of course, because you run a lot of strong boxes, and you're gonna get one diviner that drop like something cool. And then let's see the currency. I dropped 10 exalt, 10 raw exalt, and then 6 exalt. This is come from chart purely. I remove all the currency that I get from selling, to put in my main stat, which I'm really really lack of my currency, and I have to actually break my code to sell currency to get the exalted orb to buy scarab. That's how bad this is, because I need to keep tracking of everything, so that I can't use this. I cannot use this stat. I cannot use Awaken 6, and even though I have a lot of them, I cannot use it. Means I have to buy them. I cannot use anything. So on that stat, So that's mean you if you just running this, you would sustain your scarab. Like maybe not fully sustain it, but you would definitely reducing the amount that you would have to buy from people, right? So, and then I also start picking up scoring as I said, because starting to run out. Because when you roll these maps are really hard to roll because you don't want to get like garbage pack size anymore. Because you're running tier 10, you want as much pack size as possible. So I'm going with like 25 plus pack size, uh, and that's gonna be the result. I got one mirror shot as I mentioned. I got 50 something divine, 51 divine. I think like I spent like one or two or something. I don't know. I don't really remember it, so it's fine. Let's just call it 51 divine orbs that I got from 100 maps. So it's about like 2 maps per one divine. I'm not really focusing on getting divine orb. If you're focusing on farming divine orb, you should go for something like a unique monster drop corrupted items. Those things will drop more divine because you drop more six link. And then I'm going for my setup for the scarab. I'm running with divination card scarab polish, uh, and then harbinger scarab polished, and then the other two you can run whatever you want with this strategy. You can, and I'm going with the polished ambush scarab and polished legion scarab. Some people would say like, why you run Regen, why you don't run Elder, or why you don't run Kato, right? Elder, it's pretty much more expensive. Um, it's I think it's going about like, if you're buying in bulk, you probably be like 60 each or something like that. So it's one for 27, as you can see here. But if I buy the Polished Legion in bulk, it's one for 35. So it's getting more value for the Polished Legion. So I get like more use of it, and I have to worry about trading that much. So I can buy in like a lot of them, and then I can stop buying them completely. It's not like Elder, you cannot do that, but the price is so expensive, and I don't want to spend because I don't feel like Elder is worth, like, or is ever worth if you're not choosing your map to the point where you need a lot of monsters in your map, right? When you have like, let's say, if you have like 60% pack size up, then you could probably start running Elder, and that would feel absolutely amazing because you get a lot of monsters in your maps and stuff like that. But if you're not running that much juice, going with anything else, it's fine. Going with Elder is also still fine, but I just do not want it. I just don't think it's worth for me, especially the price and the trading, because a lot of people running Elder because they just want more monster, and then also run with the Reliquary Scarab and also Cartography Scarab. So these things are usable. You can use them. You can even run Metamorph if you're enjoying them, but because we're not killing the boss, so we don't really care about Mythomorph. If you kill the boss, if you do kill the boss, you do spend time killing the boss, then Mythomorph might be your option. It's also give good amount of currency. It also give good amount of monsters and rare monsters to kill, because when the Metamorph spawn, they also spawn rare monster within when they reach some of their HP threshold, something like that. So the price of it, it's like basically nothing. It's basically nothing. So you can just get it for free. Spend 1x and then you're done with it. You get like 60 or 70 of them, right? Or maybe like some gilded Metamorph Scarab as well for you give more reward or something like that. So you can do that. You can do those kind of thing and get a decent amount of results. It's not going to be as good as the meta one, the most used one, because it's obviously most used because people getting the most out of it. All right, so that's just my thing on the scarab. You can use whatever you want, but I recommend if you're running Watchstone that I'm running, which is the Auspicious Watchstone, which is Harbinger in areas drop rare value currency charts, you absolutely need to run Harbinger Scarab. There's no exception. If you buying this one Watchstone and you're not running divination, no, not divination, harbinger scarab, why would you even run with this watchstone? You can just run with 6% quant all four of them, right? So just 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 do the harbinger scarab if you're doing this, right? But if you're not using this, let's say you're using four of these increased quantity watchstone, what are you going to use? You can still use harbinger scarab. It's not like terrible. You still get loot out of it. You still get map return out of it. So in the end, Harbinger Scarab, it's quite simple and it's quite stable to use. You can use in any maps if you're running Valdo. But if you don't want to run Harbinger Scarab because you feel like it slows you down, then you can run with Kato. You can run with Elder. You can also run with Rickery. You can also run with the Mythmoth if you want to. Um, so I personally run with the Ambush and Legion, but these two are, you know, I mean, it's optional. They are optional because they're not really perfect for the strategy. I think there's a lot of people running more effectively than me, but I just don't really care because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really increase the chance of getting divination card. Like it's if adding monsters is increasing the chance of getting divination card, yeah, that could be arguably. Putting in ambush is also add monsters, and putting in Legion also add monsters. And if you don't have much pack size, Legion is absolutely amazing because Legion doesn't scale with pack size. You only get one Legion. Let's see, you get one Legion, big Legion. Sometimes you get small Legion because in the second floor and the third floor, sometimes spawn in the bad place, so you're not really getting the full value of it. But if it's spawned in the first floor, or the last floor that it has like a big area, then you get a lot of monsters from that. It's not going to be as comparable to the Elder, but yeah, it still give monsters, right? So I'm just using whatever they give me monsters, and you can absolutely sustain your map. Right now I have 16 map, not rolled, as you can see here, but I have roll my maps like here. This is all Nemesis map, this is all Beyond map, and then this is like some garbage map that I corrupted and it turned into less than 25% pack size. This one is still left over 25 plus pack size that I have to run them. And then there's also a 30% plus pack size that I separate them here, and then also a non-corrupt Nemesis map here as well. So there's still a lot of maps that I have left over and have not run yet, and I still have like here, right? And then some un-ID map that I'm just like laying here. So you cannot really running out of map even without the scarab. I think I bought like wing scarab because, I mean, let's look at a price, right? Let's just look at a price and see what happening with the scarab, and we'll see, right? So if I go, this is a tab for the other thing. Okay, exchange. I'm gonna go over to the wing, cartographer scarab, because you can see here, gilded cartographer scarab is 13 for 1x. So what did they do? I think they give around like 50% more maps drop. So let's go for a wing. I think I bought this one for when it was like 1 to 4. So when it's 1 to 4, I mean I spent 2 exalts for 8 of them. But as you can probably see, it's really, really hard to get. So you probably have to snipe like one of these guys to get like 4 of them, or to get like 2 of them, right? To get like 6 of them or 4 of them. So this price is acceptable. If you want to search your map pool, like it's just good for getting the bulk of like map pool, and then you don't have to use cartography scarab ever again. I use like 10. I use like 8 of them for wings cartography scarab, and then I just use rusted. I just used rusted cartography scarab for about 10 or 12 map. I don't really remember. So in total, I spent 20 maps setting my map pool, and then I stop using it and go for the Legion Scarab instead, because these things are, it's getting expensive. It's getting more and more expensive because a lot of people are trying to run them. As you could probably see, polish, it's going up for like 13 for 1x now. Is almost as expensive as the gilded one. So the gilded one is like 10 or maybe 8 for 1x. So they are getting expensive quite fast because a lot of people are trying to run them. A lot of people are trying to sustain their maps, even though they can easily sustain their map if they're not running with the sexton that says unique monsters drop corrupted items, because when you drop a corrupted map, then it has chance to turn into some other maps, and it has chance to roll some garbage mod, and it also has chance to just drop white, which is bad, right? When you drop a corrupted white map, that's basically a throwaway. You don't use it. I would I search for these things. I'm just looking through, more the option that I want. Like I experience with like most things in this, like scarabs anyway. So I probably I have a little bit of idea like with what the fuck I want, and a bees is probably not I want because I don't really enjoy doing them. Blight, no, I don't enjoy running them either. Expedition also don't enjoy running them. So I just cut out things that I just don't want, and then go for the price of things that are acceptable. Ambush like 20 for one. Okay, that's cool. I can get that. Because within 20 maps, I could definitely make 1x hulls back for this gap, right? So yeah, let's do that. And then what is this thing? Divination card scarab. You absolutely need this, by the way, because why would you farm tower if you're not running with this? Or maybe you just farm tower because it has a lot of stats for the Scourge mechanic, and you want to stack as much rarity as possible. And if you go for the rarity route, you don't need to run Divination card Scarab. You run Reliquary instead. So if you have a setup for rarity only, just stack a bunch of rarity, just go zoom into the map, and then trying to get your Mage Blood drop, something like that. You don't need the Divination card Scarab. It doesn't really do anything to you or your map for a unique drop. So you can drop these things um, because it's kind of expensive, and I don't see the point why you would run something expensive like this. And if you don't have the currency to afford it, you can go down for a rusted version, which is something cheaper, right? So you can run about like 16, 17 maps. You would drop about like 2 or 3 nerfs within those amount of maps still, uh, I think. Because like I really did that and it's fine. And then yeah, as you can see here, there's a pretty cheap, for Legion Scarab, even with the polished one. You can even go down for the rusted one, but I just want some juicy hoarder, which is gonna give you a load of like Splinter, I guess. Yeah, but it's just not really that much different than rusted one. If you don't want to spend currency that much, you just go for rusted one. You just add Legion. Look at that price. You can run a lot of these, right? And then also I ran with the Harbinger scare because you're running auspicious. You definitely need this. This is just like your Hail Mary, right? I ran 100 maps and I get 6 Exalted Orb for free. Like, you don't really drop Exalted Orb, you get 6 of them for free. So you're reducing the price of Harbinger Scare by 6 Exalts, and you run 100 maps, right? Let's say you get like 10 each, right? Let's say you get 10 each. So you need to spend 10 Exalts for the Harbinger Scare. You reduce that by 6 Exalt already just by getting the chart of Exalted Orb, right? You drop the price down to 4 Exalt. That's what you actually invested, right? And then the rest of the map cover the cost, right? So this is like an absolutely worth things to do. And if you drop one mirror shard, like one single mirror shard, it covered the whole 100 maps, of course. So yeah, this is absolutely worth it if you run with the Watchstone that I'm running. Um, but yeah, but do I myself enjoy this? I don't. I can say it out loud. I do not enjoy buying Scarab. I do not enjoy micromanagement. I do not enjoy doing little things. Um, okay, we sold this guy that guy item. So let's see, you know, if there's anything you would want to know. There's only like not much to talk about anymore. Um, yeah, that's gonna be it for this. But I was thinking about, maybe just make a new series about Mage Blood or something. Farming for Mage Blood. I don't know how long it's gonna take. It probably gonna take like way longer than getting to Headhunter because Headhunter is like 100x, right? It is way easier to get than Mage Blood, and you can also reduce the price by just farming nurses. So the Hunter, it's very, very much just obtainable just by farming the nurse, and also just by farming the nurse, and then you drop from the towers. So you combine them together, you get a headhunter already. So farming for Herender, it's something like easy, right? But I just put this challenge over myself, to farm 64 nurses without spending any scarab, because first of all, I don't really enjoy running with scarab. But even though not really like running with scarab, but I don't enjoy trading in general. Like yeah, I just don't enjoy trading. So that's just my things. Um, but I do trade because, well, you can't really get everything yourself. You sometimes has to lend somebody a hand and get things for you, and that's gonna be it. And I'm going to maybe get a Mage Blood, maybe doing a Magic Find to Mage Blood thing series. But I don't know. In that series, I would probably like it's not really interesting to me because you only farm currency and then you buy them, right? But if I have to drop them, they're gonna take forever. That's no way it's gonna happen, right? There's no way gonna happen. Uh, but we'll see. Maybe it's gonna happen. Maybe it's not gonna happen. Uh, that's gonna be it for the video, I guess. There's a lot of things that I want to talk, but I just forget about, and I just don't want to re-record the video. So if you have any question, if you have like how, oh yeah, the character. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of people trying to ask about the character, right? How do I do this? Am I gonna make I'm gonna make another video about character, like fully a character, just maybe after this one. I'm gonna record the video about my character and how I set up my character and how do I approach things in game, when it comes into Magic Find. So that's gonna be it, and see you guys on the next one. And I'm probably gonna do a full review on my character and maybe get you a glimpse of like what you can do and what you can try to get a similar result, or if you want to make it better or something like that, which I will cover in the next video as well. So thanks guys for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you guys. Bye.